Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. There is no tomorrow. Not the way you think there is. Tomorrow is just an idea, a promise that may never come. We live our lives as if we've been handed a guarantee, but the truth is, the only guarantee you have is this moment. Right here, right now. This second is all that's real, and the moment it passes, it's gone forever. Think about that. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? How many dreams have you buried under the illusion of later? Every time you push your goals forward to some invisible future, you're betting on a tomorrow that doesn't belong to you. That's a dangerous game to play with your life. Life doesn't stop for anyone. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. While you hesitate, while you second guess, while you sit on the sidelines convincing yourself you'll act soon, life keeps moving. Opportunities pass. Time slips through your fingers like water you can't hold. And the harsh reality is this: hesitation is not harmless. It costs you something every single time. Picture yourself standing still while everyone else moves forward. That's what hesitation does. It freezes you while the world keeps spinning. If you don't step in and claim your moment, life will make decisions for you. And you may not like where those decisions take you. The present isn't just time, it's a weapon. It's the sharpest tool you'll ever have to carve out the life you want. Right now, in this very second, you have the power to change everything. That's not exaggeration, that's reality. You can decide to shift your habits, rewrite your story, and create momentum that transforms your future. But you can only do that if you grab hold of now with both hands. Too many people underestimate the present. They see it as small, insignificant, compared to their grand visions of the future. But the future is built entirely from these small moments. This second, this minute, it's the foundation of everything you dream about. And if you waste it, you're tearing down the very house you want to build. Imagine time as a bank account that refills every morning. Every day, you wake up with a deposit of 24 hours. But here's the catch. You can't carry over what you don't use. At midnight, what you didn't spend is gone forever. You don't get a refund. You don't get a second chance at today. What are you doing with the hours you've been given? Are you investing them in building the life you want, or are you wasting them on things that don't move you forward? Because whether you use it or not, the clock keeps ticking. And one day, you're going to look back and see how many days you left unspent, unused, unlived. There comes a moment in every person's life when they decide who they are going to be. Not talk about it, not dream about it, decide it. And that moment is always now. Not when things are perfect, not when you feel ready. Right now, in the middle of your fear, your doubt, your uncertainty, who are you going to be? The person who waits for life to hand them a chance, or the person who grabs life by the collar and demands their destiny? Every action you take is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. And the votes you cast today will determine who you are tomorrow. This is it. This is your wake-up call. There is no tomorrow. There is only now. And what you do with it will echo through every corner of your life. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. This is the moment you take back control. This is the moment you step into the life you were meant to live. This is the moment you decide who you'll be. We love the word someday, don't we? It's comfortable. It lets us off the hook. We say, someday I'll get in shape. Someday I'll start that business. Someday I'll fix my life. But let me ask you something. Where is someday on the calendar? You can flip through every page, every year, and you'll never find it. Someday is not a day. It's a fantasy. And while you're waiting for it to arrive, life is slipping away right under your nose. Someday is the perfect excuse because it sounds like a plan when really it's a stall. It makes you feel like you're moving forward when you're actually standing still. But here's the truth. If it doesn't have a date, it's not real. If it's not happening now, it's not happening at all. We wait because waiting feels safe. It feels like preparation. We tell ourselves we're getting ready, that we're waiting for the right moment. But waiting isn't preparation. It's avoidance. It's fear dressed up as strategy. And every day you wait, your dreams get quieter. They don't die with a scream. They fade with a whisper until one day they're gone and you don't even realize when you lost them. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Waiting keeps you comfortable. Action makes you uncomfortable, and that's why it works. That's why it changes you. If you want a different life, you have to trade comfort for courage. You have to break free from the safety of someday and step into the risk of now. Every time you say one day, you're not just delaying action, you're pushing your dream further away. It's like standing at the base of a mountain and taking steps backward every time you say, I'll climb it later. One day becomes 1 year. 1 year becomes 5. And before you know it, you're staring at a mountain that feels impossible to climb because you've been walking in the wrong direction for too long. Think about the things you told yourself you'd do one day. How many of them are still waiting? How many of them are still sitting in the corner of your mind, collecting dust because you've been feeding them later instead of action? If you don't want to wake up one day living a life filled with what ifs and regrets, stop saying one day. Replace it with today, not tomorrow, not next week, now. The only thing you control is this moment. Tomorrow is a promise no one can make. Next week isn't guaranteed. All you have is today, and every day you waste waiting for a better time is a day you never get back. This is not about rushing through life. This is about realizing that waiting for the stars to align is a trap. The stars are never going to align perfectly. You're never going to feel completely ready. That's why now matters. Because now doesn't care if you're scared or unprepared or uncertain. Now is about action, in spite of fear. Now is about moving forward when it's messy. Now is about proving to yourself that you can do it before the world believes it. Let me ask you something right now. What are you delaying that could change your life today? What is sitting in the back of your mind, waiting for someday, that if you acted on right now, would set your entire life on fire in the best way possible? Is it a phone call you've been afraid to make? A decision you've been avoiding? A step you've been scared to take? Imagine the difference one bold move today could make. Imagine looking back a year from now, knowing you changed the entire course of your life because you stopped waiting and finally acted. Someday is a lie. Someday is a thief. It steals your time, your opportunities, and your life. The only way to beat it is to destroy it with action, right here, right now. This is your moment. Don't let it slip away under the weight of someday. Most people believe that doing nothing is safe. They tell themselves, at least I'm not making mistakes. But let me tell you the truth. Inaction is not neutral. It's not harmless. It's a choice, and it's one of the most dangerous choices you can make. When you do nothing, you are not staying in the same place. You are falling behind. Time moves whether you do or not, and every moment of inaction widens the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Inaction is a silent killer. It doesn't scream at you. It doesn't knock on your door. It slowly suffocates your potential while you convince yourself you're being patient. But patience without action isn't wisdom. It's fear in disguise. Action is construction. Every step you take, no matter how small, builds something. It creates momentum. It stacks bricks for your future. Inaction, on the other hand, doesn't just keep you where you are, it rots you from the inside out. The longer you sit still, the harder it becomes to move. It's like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. If you don't take action, your ability to act at all begins to wither. Think about your own life. The times you took bold action even when it scared you. Those moments built confidence, character, and results. The times you sat back, waiting, thinking you were buying time, that's when things began to decay. That's when dreams started to feel impossible, not because they were too big, but because you stayed too still. Every day you delay, the fire burns lower. Every day you stall, the dream gets dimmer. Not because it stops being possible, but because you start believing less and less that it's meant for you. That's the real danger of inaction. It doesn't just waste time, it rewires your mind. It makes you think smaller. It makes you settle. It convinces you that the life you once wanted is out of reach, when the truth is, it's just waiting for you to move. Ask yourself this: how many dreams have you let fade because you stalled too long? How many goals have you buried under layers of hesitation? The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to bring them back to life. Not because the dream changes, but because you do. Doing nothing doesn't feel dangerous at first. It feels easy, it feels safe, but so does rust. Metal doesn't crumble in one day. It corrodes silently, slowly, until one day it snaps under the weight it used to hold with ease. That's what inaction does to your life. It eats away at your potential piece by piece, so quietly you don't even notice until you break under the weight of your own unused abilities. Your mind, your talents, your opportunities, they are all like steel. Strong, capable, but leave them unused long enough, and the rust sets in. And once it does, it takes 10 times the effort to restore what you could have maintained with consistent action. The cure is movement. The cure is now. You might think inaction costs nothing, but it costs everything. It costs you time you'll never get back. It costs you opportunities you'll never see again. It costs you the version of yourself you could have become if you had the courage to move. The question is, are you willing to pay that price? Are you willing to wake up years from now with the weight of regret heavier than any fear you're feeling today? Do this for a moment. Picture your future self, 10 years older, looking back on today. What do you think they'd say? Would they thank you for taking action? Or would they whisper the words you don't want to hear? Why didn't you start? Why did you wait? Inaction is not neutral. It is not harmless. It is the thief that steals your life in slow motion. And the only way to stop it is to move. Not tomorrow, not when it's comfortable, not when you're ready. Right now, because every second you stall, the dream fades. Every moment you wait, the rust sets in. And the cost of inaction will always be greater than the fear of action. Most people think they need a giant leap to change their life. They believe they need to overhaul everything overnight. That mindset keeps them paralyzed because the mountain looks too high to climb. But here's the truth: massive change never starts with a leap. It starts with one small, immediate step, one phone call, one decision. One action taken right now, no matter how small. Think about a snowball rolling down a hill. It doesn't start huge, it starts tiny, barely noticeable. But as it moves, it gathers power, momentum, and weight. That's what small steps do. They build something unstoppable. And the best part, you don't have to have it all figured out to take one small step. You just have to move. Here's a question that can change everything. What can you do in the next 10 minutes to move closer to the life you want? not next week, not next month, the next 10 minutes. That's all you need to think about. Because change doesn't happen in some distant future. It happens in tiny, immediate moments like this. Maybe it's writing down your goal. Maybe it's sending that email you've been avoiding. Maybe it's taking the first step toward building a habit. It doesn't matter how small it feels, because small actions are the seeds of massive transformation. You don't need to move a mountain today, you just need to pick up the first stone. Momentum is like fire. It doesn't appear in full flame. It starts with a single spark. One small action ignites another and another until suddenly you have a blaze that can't be put out. That's the power of starting now, even if it's small. Because the first step isn't just about progress, it's about creating energy. And energy fuels everything that follows. Have you ever noticed that once you start something, it's easier to keep going? That's not an accident. That's momentum at work. But you can't get momentum sitting still. You can't get fire without a spark. That spark is the first small step you take today. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is that we have to start perfectly. We think we need the right plan, the right resources, the right confidence. That lie kills more dreams than failure ever will. Let me tell you something. You don't have to start perfect. You just have to start. Start messy. Start scared. Start unprepared. Start with shaking hands if you have to. Because the courage to start imperfectly is what separates those who move forward from those who stay stuck. Action creates clarity. You don't wait until you're ready. You become ready because you moved. You're going to feel fear when you take your first step. That's normal. That's human. But here's the thing. Fear lasts minutes. Regret lasts a lifetime. Fear will make your heart race for a moment. Regret will sit on your chest for years, whispering, "What if?" every time you think about what could have been. Which pain would you rather live with? The temporary discomfort of fear, or the permanent weight of regret? When you see it that way, the choice becomes obvious. Fear fades the second you move. Regret only grows the longer you wait. That's why the smallest step you take today matters so much. It's not just a step forward, it's a step away from regret. Small steps are powerful because they remove your excuses. You don't have to wait. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step. And once you do, the next step reveals itself, and the next, until one day you look back and realize that one tiny action changed your entire life. The question isn't, can I change everything today? The question is, can I take one small step now? And the answer is always yes. That's where your power is. That's where your future begins. Not in the big leap you'll take someday, but in the tiny, imperfect, powerful step you take right now. So many people are stuck in the same place because they're waiting for a feeling. They're waiting to wake up one morning and feel ready. But let me tell you something. Readiness is not a feeling you wait for. It's something you create. You don't get confidence before you move. You earn it because you moved. You don't get clarity by sitting still. You gain it by taking the first step into the unknown. Think about learning to swim. You can read all the books, watch all the videos, and prepare in your head for months. But you won't learn until you get in the water. That first plunge is uncomfortable, but it's what teaches you. Life is the same way. Stop waiting for readiness to find you. Start moving and let readiness catch up. You are not your circumstances. You are not your fears. You are not your excuses. You are defined by what you do, not what you say you'll do one day. Your actions are the loudest statement about who you are. Every excuse you make chips away at the person you want to become, while every action, even the smallest one, builds that person piece by piece. Excuses feel protective, but they're really a cage. They keep you locked inside the story of who you were, instead of letting you become who you're meant to be. The only way to rewrite that story is with action. Not words, not intentions, action. Imagine your life as a ballot box. Every action you take is a vote. When you choose discipline over comfort, that's a vote for strength. When you choose courage over fear, that's a vote for growth. When you choose to act instead of stall, that's a vote for becoming the version of yourself you dream about. The beauty of this is that you're not defined by one vote. You're defined by the pattern you create over time. Even if you've been casting votes for the wrong version of yourself, you can change the outcome starting today. One action is one vote, and every vote counts. The more you act, the more you shape the identity you want. Stop telling yourself you'll become that person someday. Stop waiting to step into your potential. Do it now, be it now, live it now. The future version of you isn't going to magically appear without action today. Who you are becoming is being decided right now, in this moment. This isn't about perfection. This isn't about becoming everything at once. It's about stepping into alignment with who you want to be by taking the action that person would take. You don't wait to feel like them. You act like them now, and the feeling follows. Every choice you make is shaping your future self. That means every "I'll do it tomorrow" is shaping someone too. But is it the person you want to become, or is it the person who stays stuck? That's the question you need to ask yourself every single day. Who am I becoming with the choices I make today? Picture the version of yourself you admire most, the one who's bold, disciplined, fearless, and free. Then look at the action you're about to take or not take. Is it a step toward that version or away from it? You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to choose one action today that brings you closer. Your identity isn't written in stone. It's written in motion. It's built brick by brick with every action you take. The world doesn't see your intentions. It sees your steps. And the person you want to become is waiting for you to move. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, right now, right now. How many times have you told yourself, "I'm just waiting for the right time"? It sounds responsible. But here's the harsh truth. Waiting for the right time is nothing more than waiting for permission to live. You're putting your life on hold until some mythical perfect moment appears. But life doesn't hand out permission slips. If you want to move forward, you have to give yourself permission now. The right time isn't coming. The right time doesn't exist. The only time that matters is the one you have right now. And if you keep waiting, you're not saving your dream, you're strangling it. Perfection is the biggest trap you'll ever fall into. You tell yourself you'll act when the stars align, when the fear goes away, when you're more prepared. But perfection is an illusion. You will never have all the answers. You will never have zero fear. And while you're waiting for things to line up perfectly, time is slipping away. Think of every opportunity you've let pass because you were waiting. Did it ever come back? Or did it disappear while you stood still, convincing yourself you were being wise? There's no perfect time, there's only wasted time. And the longer you wait, the heavier the regret becomes. I want to drill this into your soul. Stop waiting, stop waiting, stop waiting. Every day you tell yourself, "Not yet," you're building a habit of hesitation. And habits harden into identity. The more you practice waiting, the better you get at doing nothing. That's why breaking the pattern now is so critical. Say it to yourself out loud, I'm done waiting. Feel the weight of that declaration. Because the second you commit to that decision, you start reclaiming your life. Every moment after that becomes a step toward freedom. Opportunities are not permanent. They are waves. They come and go, rising for a moment before they crash. If you hesitate, the wave doesn't wait for you. It doesn't stop in the ocean and say, let's hold until they feel ready. No. It moves with or without you. And once it crashes, that specific wave is gone forever. That's why action matters so much. You don't get endless chances to ride the same wave. Life gives you windows, and if you don't move, they close. Think about the last opportunity you let pass. How would your life look now if you had jumped on that wave instead of watching it crash? Right now, you are standing in front of another wave. It might be small, it might be massive, but it's here, and you have a choice: surf it or let it slip. You don't need to know exactly where it will take you. You just need to know that staying on the shore guarantees nothing will change. Fear will tell you to stay on the sand. Comfort will tell you to wait for a bigger wave. But life rewards the ones who grab a board and dive in, even when the water looks rough. This is your moment. This is your wave. Will you ride it, or will you watch it crash like all the others you've let pass? Waiting feels safe. It feels rational. But in reality, it's a slow surrender. It's trading your potential for comfort. And every time you choose to wait, you're teaching yourself to live smaller than you were meant to. The only way to destroy the waiting game is to act now, messy, scared, unprepared, but moving. Because movement is what kills hesitation. Action is what drowns fear. And now is the only wave worth riding. There's a secret to life that most people never grasp. When you own now, you own everything. The present moment is the steering wheel for your entire existence. You can't control yesterday, it's gone. You can't control tomorrow, it hasn't arrived, but you can control now. And if you learn to take full ownership of this moment, you automatically shape every moment that follows. People who achieve extraordinary things aren't living in the past or dreaming in the future. They are dominating the present. They understand that every decision made today is a seed planted for tomorrow's harvest. That's why now is so powerful. It's not just time, it's leverage. It's the hinge on which your entire life swings. Think about how much time you waste replaying the past or worrying about the future. You regret things you can't undo. You stress about things you can't predict. And all the while, the only thing you can actually control, the present, is slipping through your fingers. Let me tell you something. The past is a teacher, not a prison. Learn from it and move. The future is a possibility, not a promise. Plan for it, but don't live there. The only reality you have is now, and what you do with it determines everything else. Stop for a second and ask yourself, what would my life look like if I fully owned today? If you woke up and gave 100% to the 24 hours you've been given, how different would things be? Not next week, not next year, just today. Imagine if you treated today like it was the most important day of your life, because it is. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's true. Today is the only day you can touch, the only day you can shape, the only day you can live. And if you give it everything, your life will begin to shift in ways you can't even imagine. People treat tomorrow like it's the driver, but tomorrow is just the destination, the present moment. This second is the steering wheel. If you grip it and steer intentionally, you can go anywhere. If you let it go or refuse to touch it, you drift wherever life takes you. Every action you take today is a turn of that wheel. Every choice is a direction. And the more intentional you are with now, the more control you have over where you end up later. That's why living in the present isn't just about mindfulness or philosophy. It's about power. It's about control. It's about building the life you want, one deliberate choice at a time. Now is power because it's the only place action can happen. Now is freedom because it breaks the chains of regret and anxiety. Now is life because everything outside of it is either memory or imagination. If you want to feel alive, if you want to feel in control, if you want to feel unstoppable, you have to anchor yourself in the now and use it like the weapon it is. The people who change their lives aren't the ones who wait for the future. They're the ones who own today. They're the ones who say, "This moment belongs to me." And that choice, the choice to live fully in the now, turns ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. When you truly understand this, you stop wasting time. You stop waiting. You stop living for someday. You realize that everything you've ever wanted starts with what you do right now. That's not motivational fluff. That's reality. Own now, and you own everything that follows. This is the part where you stop nodding your head and start moving your feet. Enough listening, enough agreeing, enough saying, "That's true, I should change." Action does. And if you take nothing else from this moment, take this: you cannot think your way into a new life. You have to move your way into it. Stop listening, start moving, get uncomfortable, get intentional. Take one step before this day ends. Because if you don't, all these words will just fade into another motivational moment you remember but never act on. You don't need another speech. You need a decision. Say it to yourself. Say it until it burns into your bones. Now, now, now. Every time fear whispers later, you answer with now. Every time doubt tells you to wait, you shout, now. Every time comfort tries to lull you back into sleep, you wake up with now. This isn't just a word. It's a command. It's a lifeline. It's a declaration that you refuse to waste another second. Because if you don't claim now, it will slip away and you will never get this exact moment back again. Now is your power. Now is your chance. Now is your life. Picture yourself on a launch pad. You've been sitting there for years, engines ready, everything inside you built for flight. The countdown is over. It's not T-10. It's not almost ready. It's 0. It's time to lift off. You have everything you need for the first step. Not for the whole journey, but for the first step. That's all it takes to launch. The rocket doesn't wait for perfect weather. It doesn't wait for permission. It ignites and it moves. That's you right now. Stop holding yourself on the ground. Ignite. Move. Lift off. Ask yourself the questions that cut through every excuse. If not now, when? If not you, who? If you don't start today, what exactly are you waiting for? What magical day is coming where fear disappears, life pauses, and the road becomes smooth? It's not coming. This is the day. This is the moment. And if you don't move now, ask yourself why. Not the surface excuse, the real reason. Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it comfort? Whatever it is, look it in the eye and ask, does this get to control the rest of my life? Or do I? Because the second you answer that, you'll know exactly what you need to do. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads. One road leads to the same life you've been living. The other leads to the life you've been dreaming of. The only difference between the two Action. One step taken now changes everything. Years from today, you will look back at this exact moment. You will either say, "That was the day everything shifted," or you'll whisper, "That was the day I stayed the same." The choice is in your hands right now. This is not just another moment. This is the moment. Don't let it pass. There's no tomorrow. There's no someday. There's only now. And the life you want, the person you want to become, the future you dream of. They're all waiting on the other side of one decision. Not a perfect decision, not a fearless one, just a decision made in this moment to move, to act, to refuse to wait one more second. So don't. Move now, live now, be now. Because this is it. This is the moment you change your life forever.